Hey, it's Jason from Pro Guitar Studio, and today we're going to take a look at 3-string triads on 2 sets of strings. So we're going to do the first 3 strings, so strings 1, 2, and 3, as well as strings 2, 3, and 4. So the piece you heard me play there, I did 2 different chords, E major and F sharp minor, in all 3 positions of the triad shapes. Okay, so essentially by going through this, we're going to get to know both major and minor triad shapes on the first 3 strings, and then also strings 2, 3, and 4. So for me, when I'm playing rhythm guitar over another guitarist, if they're playing like open chords, these are my go-to. I either strum them or arpeggiate them. And so both sets of strings are very useful, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun once you get going with these. So like I said, the cool thing by going through this, your fingers will get used to the shapes for both the major and the minor. Now, you might not know how to figure out, the name of the chord yet, but the whole goal here is to get you used to the shapes, not necessarily give you the theory behind how they're named. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're going through this. So what you heard before was playing through the same rhythm on each of these chords. So the E major is the first one I started with. So I did the first fret, string number 3, open string 1, 2, and 3. And so I did down, up, and then I muted, going to the F sharp minor. So the F sharp minor is on the 2nd fret of strings 1, 2, and 3. So same, I just use the same finger. You can use 3 fingers, but I think using 1 finger is in your best interest. All right, so I do that with a down strum. And I do add scratch strums in sometimes as well. So down, up, if you want to scratch strum there. But if you want to leave it out, just do that. So just leave it as a rest. Versus, okay? And then the next E chord is the 4th fret on the G string, 4th fret on the E string, and 5th fret on the B string, like your D major shape. All right, so this here is our D shape, but on the 4th fret. And then we're going to go to 6 on the G string, 7 on the B, and 5 on the high E. So again, it's E to F sharp minor, and this is the D minor shape. You might know it from down here, right? So I'm just using the shape name because you might recognize it. For anyone following the cage system, they'd think of this as the E shape. I'm not a big cage system follower, but I know, if you're using this shape here, we're going to call it the E shape. And this is the minor variation of that as well, okay? Just so you can connect it in case you do follow the cage system. The way I'm looking at this is triads and inversions, okay? So just a different approach in terms of how I'm thinking of it, but the visual is still there for the chord shape as you go through it. The next one, I'm going to do the 9th fret on the G, 9th fret on the B, and 7th fret on the high E. And this would be considered the A shape. So if we went down here, it would be the first 3 strings, okay? Just so you can sort of visualize that, if that helps. And then going up 2 frets, the minor variation of that, 11, 10, and 9. Okay, so we had, and then to finish it off, I'm going 12, 12 on the first 2 strings, 13 on the G string. And I do the 14th fret on all 3 strings, the thinnest 3 strings. And then come back to 12, 12, 13, or 13, 12, 12. So I do down, up, scratch, or mute, up on the 14, and then down, up on the scratch drum. Back to your E shape at the end, okay? So rhythmically. All right, so that's our E and F sharp minor, and I do that twice in a row, right, to give it something, to make it something musical. All right, next up, we're going to go to the 2nd string set, string 2, 3, and 4, the B, G, and D strings. And I'm going to bar the 2nd fret, and this is in an A major. So for those of you following cage, A major, right, the A shape. To a B minor, so I'm going to go 2, 2, 2, and then string 4, 3, and 2, I go 4, 4, 3. Okay, so this is a minor variation of that same shape. Like if you did an A minor, right? And then I'm going to go up to the 7th fret, 6th fret, and 5th fret. That's the E shape, I guess, from down here, if you've looked at that as a shape. Going to 9, 7, 7. That's your B minor, but it's still the minor variation of that shape we did here. Okay, so. And then I do 11, 9, 10. This would be considered, depending on what you're following here, the C shape or the D shape for anyone looking at gauge. Then I go 12, 11, 12. And this is the minor variation of that shape. Okay, again, it's A major, B minor. So A, B minor, A, B minor, A, B minor. And the final one, we're just doing the first shape, but all the way up on fret number 14. So 14, 14, 14, and 16, 16, 16, 16, 15. And same rhythm as we did up here. All right, so. Oh, should be this. There we go. And then. All right, now. A good thing to point out there, I'm leaving that mistaken intention. I'm not going to edit that out. Okay, so as I go through and I hit the wrong chord, that happens to everyone. So just so you know, if you watch me playing through this and I make a mistake, it's because it does happen no matter what level you're at. So I will not edit that out. Okay, just to keep that in there for you. All right, so A, B minor, A, B minor, A, B minor, and then same thing, A, B minor, A. So we do that one time and then back to. All right, now to finish this whole piece, you could do it, with the full rhythm, but you can also just work on the chord shapes. So the cool thing with this is that it leaves it open-ended and allows you just to work on the shapes. If you just want to work on getting those 3 shapes across the fretboard, the 4th shape's a repeat of the first one, just so you know. That's why I'm saying only 3 shapes. So work on those shapes, and then you can add the rhythm in if you want. The rhythm is just there to make it musical, but as you play through it, really the exercise here is learning those 3 shapes, right? Major and minor. 3 major, 3 minor, right? On string number 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 major, 3 minor on strings 2, 3, and 4. So a lot of stuff to work on here. These are great fun once you get going with them. I use them all the time. I use them every day. So that's how important they are to me. I think as a rhythm guitarist, it's really important to know your triads. Just because at a certain point, playing open chords and bar chords, you need someone else to round that out and to contrast that. So if you have 2 people playing, if you're both playing bar chords, you're really just stepping on each other's toes, and there's no need for that second guitarist unless you add something unique in here. And even when I'm playing lead guitar, if I'm not doing an active solo, the arpeggiated triads are a really good thing to look at. Even just strumming them very lightly in the background, that's a great thing to have under your belt. So have fun with this. If you have questions, let me know. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos like this each week, and I'll see you soon.